learning, they are going to be learning a whole lot of different aspects of technology. You know, sometimes when we tell parents technology, they think that it is only coding, and that is also because so many parents are not exposed to different aspects of technology, right? But now, because of this bootcamp, these children and even the parents are going to start to get exposed to different aspects of technology. So in this bootcamp, for those people that love to tell stories, we are going to be having a class for them that will teach them how they can be able to become authors, where they are going to be learning how to create their own books, electronic books. We usually call it ebooks. Okay, they're going to be shown how they can be able to develop their story, break it down into chapters, you know, get images that would, you know, explain this story better to them.
Yes, a wonderful Sunday evening here in Kigali, Rwanda, East Africa. We are back on the Niche Tech podcast, which happens every Sunday evening. We are showcasing tech startups, youth in innovation, seasoned entrepreneurs, just bringing them on board to showcase their innovation, to address the challenges in the economy, using emerging technologies like AI, virtual reality, agri-tech, health tech, and others. So of late, the Niche has introduced another program which is very interesting and we are going to focus on today. So I'm Jidia Gassana, as usual, your host at the Niche. Today we have a very special edition of the Niche podcast, which is happening here in the Digital Transformation Center in partnership with GIZ. And we have been announcing on our platforms that we have a tech bootcamp, an online tech bootcamp for kids between 9 and 12 years of age, which we started yesterday on Saturday, and today we conducted the second lesson. Now, just to inform you that this tech bootcamp has started off as a trial, as a proof of concept, whereby we are onboarding any interested child within the range of 8 to 12 years of age, so that we can help them to understand the basics of technology, what is a computer, and other introduction level tech basics, including programming and animation and other interesting things they can do with their smartphones and gadgets. So on this, we have partners. We are partnering with MODIGI, and they are going to introduce themselves shortly. And we also have an experienced educator on the platform. We also have a graduate from Rwanda Coding Academy. So over to you, Frederick, to introduce the MODIGI.
All right, Judia, thank you for having me. My name is Frederick Namdi. I am a tech educator. I'm also a tech YouTuber, and I'm a director at Movio Digital Services Limited.
Okay, hello, my name is Bettina, and I'm a tech teacher, basically. So what I do is I train children on tech skills, from animation to graphic designing to web creation, and you know, I like to call my kind of tech education creative tech education, because it's a kind of tech education that allows children to be able to think creatively and channel this creativity into things that they can share around the world using technology. And it's such a pleasure to be at the Niche podcast.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
My name is John Mary. I am a teacher, and I like being called teacher, much as some people call me principal. I'm a trained teacher, but I come to learn that on board, I'm the only one who is not into tech, as in tech. But I'm a teacher, and I deliver to students a number of lessons, including science, because I do chemistry, biology. So I'm not far from tech because I use tech in my delivery. Thank you very much.
So thank you so much for having me here. So by the names of Ineza Bernice, and as she said, I'm a graduate from Rwanda Coding Academy, and also I'm a trainer here in the bootcamp. So thank you for having me here again.
Thank you very much, our dear participants. So starting with MODIGI. Today you gave us a very interesting introduction to the smart use of gadgets, including a very interesting terminology that I had for the first time, which is nomophobia.
Yes.
It's not only you.
Oh, great.
And this created a high level of interest in the children who are connected online. They all want to know what's next. So we have to be very deep in the next session on Saturday. And this is an invitation to parents out there. If you have a child in the age of 8 to 12 years who has capability to follow online and has an interest in technology, coding, understanding how electronic gadgets and computers work, what is the future of technology, which is going to continually drive our economy, please connect, register. We are sending a registration form on the flyer that we are sending out, so that if you express interest, we add you on the group and we share the link with you for the training that happens each weekend for the next three weekends. Thank you very much, Frederick.
Yeah.
So, starting with Frederick, you have given us a very interesting feedback on online learning. How some parents feel like it will be a waste of time because the kids will not follow online. What is your perception about all this?
All right. So, online learning is actually like the 21st century educational system. You know, when we were young, there was nothing like the internet. There was nothing like laptops, smartphones. So there was only one way that everybody gets educated. That is by going to a certain 4 walls called school. You sit down, then a teacher walks in with writing material and then teach. Okay, but in today's world, due to the industrial revolution, right? We are now in the era where we can learn without borders. All right. As adults, all of us here with our phones, in one way or the other, we've been to YouTube today, 2 of us. Okay, so we've been to YouTube today and we picked up one lesson or the other, right? If we're on social media, when you're consuming content from someone, you're actually getting educated without having to leave your house. You're being educated online. Now, it is also important that we begin to, raise our children with the same mindset, okay? Because if the children of today only know that there is only one way to get educated, if I call a child and say, how can you get educated? They'll tell you they will go to school, right? So it's important that they begin to train them that there is also another form of education that can happen anywhere, right? Just by logging into the internet, okay? And it's also a very good way of educating children about the positive advantage or positive use of technology by introducing tech as an educational tool, internet as an educational tool, their smartphone, their laptop, their tablet as an educational tool. So for the sake of not stunting the growth of your child educationally, it is important that you get them to know that they can also begin to learn online.
Yeah, and this also creates other advantages like borderless education.
Yeah, borderless education.
Getting expertise that you would otherwise not get, interacting with different people.
Exactly.
Since also we take our kids to school for the social part, to connect, network, and be what they want in future. Simple tech schools, building confidence and self-reliance. More importantly, to manage better the smartphone and gadget usage. I think I learned this from you.
Yeah.
So, in a nutshell, what are the expectations from this online tech bootcamp that we are conducting? What should a parent or a child expect in those 2, 3, 4 weeks that will offer free tutorials for tech basics?
Okay. Betty, I think you want to take that.
Okay, so all right. So now the tech bootcamp that is currently ongoing, we have a list of so many creative tech skills that these children are going to be learning. From animation, we also have scratch programming as well. We have generative artificial intelligence. We also have videography. So now, what are they going to be learning? They are going to be learning a whole lot of different aspects of technology. You know, sometimes when we tell parents technology, they think that it is only coding. And that is also because so many parents are not exposed to different aspects of technology, right? But now, because of this bootcamp, these children and even the parents are going to start to get exposed to different aspects of technology. So in this bootcamp, for those people that love to tell stories, we are going to be having a class for them that will teach them how they can be able to become authors, where they are going to be learning how to create their own books, electronic books. We usually call it ebooks. Okay, they're going to be shown how they can be able to develop their story, break it down into chapters, you know, get images that would, you know, explain this story better to them. For the children that loves to express themselves, that can act, these ones are going to be, you know, taught how they can be able to shoot their videos and edit the videos. We call that videography, okay? Where they're going to be learning how they can be able to shoot and edit their videos. Then we also have animation. So many children love cartoons. You see cartoons on the TV, and then you begin to wonder, how can I be able to create my own? Mommy, I have these story ideas, I have this, I have that. They're also going to be learning how to create simple animation. Now, the beautiful thing about all of these skills that this bootcamp is going to teach them is that these are skills that they don't have to rack their head. They're not cramming codes like HTML, CSS, Python. I'm sure my Rwanda Coding Academy student can relate. But this time, they're not cramming code, still on their same smart devices. We are teaching them how they can be able to use it to better their life. And that's why, even in today's conversation that we had with them, I was able to tell them that these devices that they have, it can lead them, it can make them to be better, and it can even make them not to be better. It all depends on how they are able to use it. So this bootcamp is majorly going to teach them how they can be able to use this device to, you know, to make their life better. So it's an all-round bootcamp. So any parents watching this or listening to this, your children need to be a part of this bootcamp because it promises to be exciting, creative, and just fun for them. And that's why it's even in the weekends, so that we're not interacting with their Mondays to Friday. They can go to school and have fun, but there are weekends where they're at home doing, maybe watching cartoons. Let's see how we can be able to channel that weekend into creative tech education.
Yeah, I could tell that this is the real fun part of it when you stopped and they were all like, what's next? They couldn't believe that we are stopping
Actually, some of them did not even want to stop.
Yeah, they want to stop. So, because it's the fun part of tech, and I think the more they get into this, then they will not even go into those other gaming that is not profitable. They'll be able to create their own games, interact, and, you know, be more creative with their gadgets. So parents out there, this is a call to action. Please subscribe. Just get more information on this from denish2025@gmail.com. We'll be answering all your emails or concerns so that we can onboard more and more students, more and more kids in the range of 8 to 12, even more if you want, so that we can teach them these basics, the fun part, the creativity part of technology that they can use to even spend their leisure time, while also being able to earn a living, I guess, in the future.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, for the benefit of us who didn't understand nomophobia, what is that?
Okay.
Nomophobia.
Yes. So nomophobia is no mobile phone. So we are talking about smart devices, and children are excited. Their parents are buying them tablets, iPads as birthday gifts, and then sometimes these children start to get addicted to this device. We've seen videos on social media where a parent collects their children iPad and they start to throw tantrums. They are breaking the TV, they are breaking the glasses. Okay, and that's why we had to bring out a word, that's nomophobia, where we as trainers, we are now beginning to educate these children that in as much as smart devices are good, but you don't want to be caught in nomophobia where your smart device cannot be taken away from you. So there's need for a balance. You love your smart devices, beautiful. You're creating animation and creating all this creative thing with your devices, beautiful. But then you should also know when it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
You should know when it's time for you to go and eat your food. You should know when it's time for you to go and do your dishes, do the house chores and all of that. Okay. So nomophobia in a nutshell is the fear of not being with your smart device. So children, when you start to educate them early, they know these things so that when they get to a certain age, it will not become a problem. And that's why you also notice that I also have to tell them that when they have nomophobia, it starts to affect their academics because their grades start to drop. It starts to affect how they interact with people. You go out for parties and then everybody's just on their smart device.
Yeah.
Miss Gidia, can't you hear me? I'm talking to you. And Miss Gidia's like, oh yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Right? So it starts to affect their social lives. It even starts to affect their health. Some people start to develop eye issues as a result of too many screen times and all of that. So nomophobia basically is just the fear of not being with your smart device. Now, what can this cause? What can it do to you basically? So that's what we're just trying to educate these children on.
I think I have experienced nomophobia. But I was able to regulate it as a mature person. So I'm wondering about these helpless kids who do not have the intelligence, the maturity to know something is affecting them and how to regulate it.
That's what I'm teaching them.
But again, you cannot blame us because technology is handling everything for us. I mean, I will be posting the show, I will be editing and everything on my phone this weekend. And if I go back to work, it will be one thing or another on the group chats and Outlook and everything else that will be received on the phone. So I will be answering a customer while I'm in a meeting, and that meeting will almost be considered. I will be considered as if I'm there. Yet I'm handling an issue that is very critical. So again, with the beauty of technology, we need to have a way of regulating it.
Exactly.
Which I think nomophobia now makes sense.
Yes, and that's why we are teaching the children early.
Yes.
So that they can start to know on time that I don't want to be caught in the nomophobia web. I don't want to be caught with when I'm asked to drop my smart device and it becomes a problem. When you start to educate children early, you start to make the changes on time.
Yeah. So John Mary, an educator, an experienced, again, let me
teacher.
Say,
let's just leave it to the teacher.
An experienced teacher
and principal.
And a renowned principal in different schools.
Yes.
So I want your take on this. You've had a long-term experience as a teacher, as an educator, and even as a principal. So in some of the schools in Rwanda, how can this program benefit students in the age group we are targeting? Are they able to follow end-to-end online?
Thank you very much, Ms. Judia. Now, this is really interesting because it's not something that has been common. We always have activities, we have online programs, but we usually subscribe. And right now we are having a 4-week program that has introduced us into the tech free of charge, if I may use it that way. I have to really first appreciate this. And thank you to
MODIGI.
MODIGI.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are learning. Every day is a learning opportunity. So it's very important that we utilize it. First of all, it's not only useful to the children. It's very useful to the parents. When these children learn something, the parents will save money on the training they should have paid for a little later. So we are saving, we are investing to save in the first case. 2, when these children are occupied on their gadgets as they are learning, this 1 hour is not a wastage of time. Parents are doing something else as the children are occupied. And they're already programmed that on Saturday next week, we are having a program. So they will even remind you, Mommy, please, I need some, Daddy, please help me. Now, you think they're only learning how to do animations and everything. No, they're learning what you and I, as parents, as adults, did not learn then. Like he said, during our time, we did not have a chance of having the computers and these programs. We didn't. Now the programs are there. So there is something that has come, and we have to really capture and utilize it as fast as possible. And if I were a parent out there, and I got to know that there is a chance like this, I would immediately subscribe. I would immediately make a call, because the children are benefiting something. I had animations, I had ebook, I had... Okay, parents out there, how many of you know how to do this? If I may ask. Teachers, how many of you know how to do this? But if a child has got to learn how to do this at a young age of 9, of 12, the world ahead is benefiting. Yeah. Because trust me, out there, we are getting out of the, the analog. We are going digital. Yeah. Whether we want it or we don't, the world is changing, and we just have to move with it. Now, this is a challenge that comes back to us as school leaders, as school owners, as teachers. How many of you know how to write ebooks? How many of you know how to do animations? How many of you know how to manipulate the computer the way these children do it? I've been to different schools, and a child will just touch a computer and you see different things on the screen. You're like, okay, what exactly are we doing? Maybe my sister here is going to tell us how the coding and everything is done. We only know when you want to learn coding, you have to go to a certain school, a Rwanda coding school, something. And how many coding schools do we have in Rwanda? You see? So there are very few. What do? We quickly run to YouTube. Then you see, where do I learn coding from? You're busy saying you don't want your child to get used to the computer and the phone, but then you want them to learn how they're going to use these gadgets. You see? I'm sorry to say, someone said when they get used to the phone and everything, they get eye problems. It's not what caused my eyes, no?
Eye problems have been there.
You see, someone pointed the finger directly at me. Yes, but what I'm trying to say is it's very important that these children learn how to use and utilize these gadgets at an early age. There is a lot that we are going to learn in this bootcamp. Only 4 weeks. We are looking at it as only 4 weeks, but it's a whole lot in the 4 weeks. Yesterday we had a very wonderful show. I loved it. I wished every single learner logged in, because what we learned yesterday was an introduction. What about what we learned today? What is it that we are going to learn tomorrow? These who attended today's lesson are quite expectant. They don't know what is going to come. Trust me, all of them, keeping factors constant, will attend next show. And what about those that did not attend this and don't even know? I would encourage each and everyone out there, please log in, don't miss next Saturday. Rain, sunshine should not affect you anywhere. Log in, attend the show, learn. Teachers out there, you teach science, you teach English, you teach math, whichever subject, please log in and learn something. Learning never ends. At our age right now, people are going for masters, people are going for PhDs. But you can imagine you're going for a PhD in maybe social, maybe psychology, maybe something, but there is IT here. You must use a computer when you go to the university. Most teachers are teaching languages, especially English, to Chinese students, to Nigerian students, to South American students. What do we use? Computers. We are not in South America. The people out there want to learn different languages, different courses. How do they do that? Online. We have, how do you call this, homeschooling. People are learning from their homes for so many reasons. When they relocate from one place, from their homes to others, Before they join another school, they're still in touch with their old teachers. And how do they do that? With their computers. Now, take an example. You've been shifted, or you've been relocated from here to Japan, to Kenya, to South Africa. How are you going to cope up? It has to be through technology. Whether we want it or not, things have changed, and we must move with the trend. And as I speak right now, I'm happy this is going on. It hasn't started, but it's going on. With the niche, we've already seen that we have started. There's not a journey to stop. There's a lot to learn. Even those who have not subscribed. I'm encouraging everyone out there, as you watch us here, as you think about what you can do, please join us and let us take our students a little bit further. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John Mary, for the insights into the education space and how technology is just disrupting everything. Actually, technology has victimized some of the different other domains, like finance. People used to queue up at the banks. Now, with a single transaction, you can withdraw millions.
Yeah.
So, are we going to foresee a future disruption of technology in schooling?
No. There's no disruption. Instead, what I can say is, at this age, our students, our children are so much inquisitive. There's a lot they want to learn. There's a lot they want to see. We just have to help them. We give them guidance. Let's make a timetable as parents. We know we can say on Saturday, we'll wake up like my friend here said. We have a whole program for the weekend. We have home chores, we have games, we have to go out and everything. But then we have that 1 or 2 hours for an activity online, right? And the child will know, okay, at school I did this and this, but then I have a project to finish, and they'll work on it. The only thing that we have to help them know is technology is not life, okay? So they don't have to depend on it 100%, but it carries a lot of percentage of their lives because it is outside their lives. And it's going to help them interact with each other, with other gadgets, with banking, with health, with transport, with everything. Okay? So if these children don't know how to use the tap and go card, for example, how then are they going to move in case all the other transport systems have stopped? These are the ones that are going to help us develop those small cards, to know how to load money on the cards. They're the ones who know how to stop people from stealing, from cheating others. They're the ones who know how to create, I know she'll talk about it, the coding systems and everything, how to create either codes to introduce or cut a certain system, okay? And they have to start early enough. The only thing that the parents have to do right now, including teachers, parents out there and everyone, is to help these children appreciate. But it comes to us first. Do we appreciate as parents? Do we know what is supposed to be done? So I can say, parents out there, it's not only that it's not only the children learning, it's us as well. Don't log in your child and then run away. No, there is something you're going to miss. So when you log in, please stay around and also learn, because there is something you don't know. I was talking to a certain parent some time back, and as we were discussing, we had a challenge with screen time at home. It's becoming a whole lot of a problem. The child has a screen, a phone. The parents have phones. Once they get home, everyone is like, there's no more communication, right? Everyone communicates online. You can imagine if this was a home, right? Everyone has got their phone. Are we still together? Now, let's put this into a family context. There is time for the gadgets. There is time for the family. Goes back to the parents first.
Yeah.
Then it will drive down to the children. It will drive down to the maids and every other worker. So we know when to respect these gadgets, and it will help us very much. We don't do that, then we are slaves to the gadgets.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous.
So I think there is also another element that we need to consider of how to integrate, if not yet penetrated, this e-learning and tech learning in schools from an early level, from a lower primary level. See how many schools can respond to this kind of...
I thought maybe I would have another minute a little later but we're still having a challenge. Not every school has a computer lab, but most schools have computer labs, right? And from yesterday's discussion, from yesterday's lesson, I learned that some parents had a little bit of a comment. It wasn't a complaint per se. How are we going to manage to do it? Because some of us don't have smartphones at home. So can schools put a program for us? And my statement was, yes, this is just the beginning. Let's see how it will go. Every project, every program has what we call a pilot study.
Exactly.
We just started. We expect all of you out there to prepare the questions you think we shall answer, because we don't know what you want. For us, there is what we have, but there is what you want.
Mm-hmm.
So you prepare the questions, let us have them, and let's see how we can modify for us and you to be together so that our children can grow and become tech gurus, if I could say it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the insights. I believe you're the expert here in education. Yes, Bernice. So tell us about your coding experience and takeaways from the highly prestigious Rwanda Coding Academy. How does it feel?
So, okay, thank you so much for coming here. But, okay, like the journey that from like coding, so like first like when I was little, my father was like he was a network engineer, so they would be seeing a computer there, and then I was like, what is this doing? Like the way my colleague here was teaching them about the computer, different parts. That is something that my parent was like doing that time. And after that, after knowing like how to use the computer, you start imagining, but how is this YouTube, like how are they doing these things? And after that, like you start to get curious more, and you start searching about different things. That, as he said, we have different platforms that we are using so that maybe you can learn. And as I was studying in ordinary level in secondary, I got a chance to be one of the candidates to study there in Coding Academy. And this was something like there's an introduction that you're given to, like what's computer programming, what's programming, coding. You start to get, you're introduced to about AI, different things that are all general in coding. So after that, I'm imagining like someone who is like from a rural area. We know that there are some people who are not able to see the computer. Yeah. For example, like when I was studying there, teacher would say that you are given this opportunity, but we're not given that opportunity when we were little. Like there's this instructor there who told us that the first time he was seeing a computer, it was when he was in university. And you imagine that that's something that did not happen to me, but
sorry to cut you short. That's what I was saying. Not every school has an advantage of having these gadgets. Okay? Yeah.
Yes, and also like imagine like the students that are in this camp who are able to get this introduction when they are introduced to outside, they will immediately get to learn more about coding and other things. And as she said, there are a lot of things that we have in technology. So that's like the way that I started to learn more. And this is something that if you are starting it, you get a lot of things. Like she said, you may be like doing programming, doing programs, and there's this part where there's animation, there's this part where they're doing like movies, a lot of things. Artificial intelligence, as now it's a trending thing here in the old world. Yes. So like that curiosity, that's something that grew in me, and I was starting to learn more, and then that's how I'm here right now. So like one of the things that I can say that as a takeaway, you get how you have to be curious every time. So if you start like learning or like get introduced to computer, this is something that you have to do. Getting curious about everything. This is because we have a lot of things. A new language is developed. Like this technology is coming.
Nomophobia.
So, yes. So you have to get curious, and you know how you also have to make like plans of what you're going to do. Because if you're trying like to get everything, consuming everything, you not get that more information or get like expert in that thing. And then I think that if you continue to get curious and also make plans for yourself, as here they are studying like how to manage those times, free time. This is something that will grow in you, and you know how to do things in the right time. So I think that's what I can say about the curiosity and also the takeaway in this whole journey.
So I'm just repeating what an innocent child asked on the bootcamp.
Yes.
Just which we concluded just a while back. We told them that we'll introduce them to AI and coding. Then one child innocently asked, am I going to be able to create a robot?
Yes.
So this is a question that we have to answer within the bootcamp. What does it take to create a robot that you can command around? Go fetch me this.
Sophia.
Wow.
What do you think it takes?
Yes. So like that's curiosity they're having too, so
Yes.
that you can also, if those people are also making those robots, they have to get curious so that they can do all those things. So on an example of robots, as they said about artificial intelligence, now robots have like advanced knowledge. So that's where we're going to, like, in simple terms that I'm going to use, for a robot to be that robot that we are having, this should be a hardware part, the part that like maybe the robot can be able to give you a telephone here or any other thing, and there's this part that is controlling that robot, and that's a software part. As the last time they were studying about the processors or any like other parts of a computer, that's another computer but with a lot of components, and so for that robot to be able to function, they should have a software part that is controlled by some codes that you like have to write, so that like, for example, if you say, okay, I'm trying to put it in the simplest way. For example, you take a robot, you give them instruction, because you have to give them instruction. For example, if you say, okay, I'm trying to put it in the simplest way. For example, you take a robot, you give them instruction. If you say, okay, I'm trying to put it in the simplest way. For example, you take a robot, you give them instruction, because you have to give them instruction. For example, if you see that person coming there, you have to greet them. That's something that you have to tell them. You have to tell the robot through codes. Yes, and other things continue. So that's like the simplest thing that through a robot, like the robot that we are seeing here.
So this bootcamp is the start of every child creating a robot. We don't know how long that journey will take, but they've given us a challenge.
So this is an introduction. So as they continue to get curious, that's when they'll be able to learn advanced things so that they can make that robot.
And just like she said, the robot has the hardware part and also have the software part. And the software part is where you have like the artificial that they're writing. So at the end of the day, being a part of the bootcamp, you're getting an idea gradually that will help you to build a robot. You can't build a robot in one day. You can't even build a robot in 1 year. Like, it takes a lot of time to build a robot. But then it starts from the introduction, and that's why the bootcamp is helping you to guide you in this introduction, so that you can then build a robot that will say, wonder.
Actually, Ms. Dida, before you take it on, you remember what I said about the introduction part, the pilot. There is something that these teachers of ours are bringing to us as parents, and they're bringing it to us as students. So they are telling us that if your target is a robot, this is where you start.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay? And like she said, like you asked, the children want to build robots. That is what they are looking at. The curiosity she talked about. Now, we are looking at, in case you want to go to the robot, how do you get there? You start here. Okay? So they have to know that, oh, so we move from here to there. Then from here to where? The curiosity continues. Okay? But then now as parents, we say, okay, now you want to get the robot. They have shown us where to start. Can we plan and see how to go the next step? 2 hours per weekend, 3 hours per month. Okay? Now, we have a role to play as parents. The children have a role to play. We need electricity, we have to charge our gadgets. We need some money to buy the gadgets. We have to buy internet and everything, but it's a process. And that's the reason why I talked about the pilot program. Even right now, as we are talking about this, it's going to take us 4 months. Some will be like, yeah, it's a good project, but we cannot manage it. Others will be like, wow, I think we delayed. Why did these people come early? Others will say, I cannot use the phone, it's too small. Let me buy a computer. So we are at different stages, and you just have to respect the steps. Okay? And that's the reason why we're here, to discuss with this, with our viewers, and we see how we can build the tech together from a young age.
Yes, dear viewers, it was for you to understand where we're heading to and where we are targeting to be at. So Rome was not built in a day, and that's why we're taking 4 weeks of tech bootcamp to introduce the basics, to guide the coders, the engineers, the networkers, just to show them how you can integrate into your career, into your interest, into your career, into your IT interest. For example, the kids all wanted to create a robot from these tutorials. So we have agreed that we may not help them to create a robot, but we will show them how to even start to have the concept of building a robot. So now again, we want to thank stakeholders. You know, by default, we are subscribing to almost free internet by the players in the market, the ISPs, the telecoms, who have made this internet to be so affordable that everyone can connect without the challenge of this internet could be so expensive. We are looking at gadgets. Already there are some players who have availed a high in the market. But this is still a green area, a gray area where we need more and more stakeholders to bring the gadgets. Now with the cost of the taxes reintroduced, it's more of a challenge, but we still should overcome. And also just, the policy that allows for such kind of initiatives to be free, to be able to do such an initiative without going into very high bureaucracies. So yeah, we are in a good level playground, and we are doing our part. So let's get more partners out there, more demand, which will drive, the services. So again, on behalf of the parents who sent me, I am also a parent of the free bootcamp, tech bootcamp. I have a child, and as a parent, I would say this is a timely initiative that will give our kids something to look forward to in the weekend, and reduce, increase the smart use of gadgets, whereby we have been concerned with how much time they spend on their screen, how they do not manage their time, but now we have brought in something that can be worth their time. And again, as the founder of the Niche Tech Podcast, of course, having gathered feedback from also the techpreneurs that come from time to time to present their solutions, I say that it's time to include kids in the tech innovation journey, which will continue to drive the economy. So from us here at the Niche, I would like to say thank you for this time. Thank you to the cameraman. You did a great job, and maybe I'll give the others a chance to say a final remark or two before we wind up. Anyone?
Alright, there's this I always like to tell children whenever I'm teaching them as a closing note. So I'm just going to say this to parents as well, that we are living in an awesome era in a lifetime where your children are no longer too young to dream. They are not too young to go wide with their imagination. And it's even no longer possible for them to just lock their imagination, lock their big dreams in their head. Technology has come to make it possible for them to dream beyond their location. There are children that are in the most remote part of the world, but their story was heard, in places that their foot can never have stepped into, just by doing a clip of themselves, doing whatever thing they love and putting it on YouTube, right? Just by doing whatever thing the child loves, putting it on YouTube, you're literally putting whatever thing he loves to the world, and he could be discovered. So I do not want you to, limit your child's thinking by withdrawing them from opportunities like this. It's an opportunity for them to learn, it's an opportunity for them to grow, and it's an opportunity for them to actually dream, and it's an opportunity for them to execute. By the end of the bootcamp, children will be able to do different things, create animation, write, create games and different things. And you, as a parent, will also be quite proud of, the little star that you have in your house. So make sure that they don't miss this opportunity.
Thank you. Anybody else wants to say a final remark?
For me, weekends are time where children have a lot of time to do a lot of things. And a bootcamp like this is helping you as a parent to utilize their weekends. So if you're a parent watching this, I would say that learning that our children have, that they are not just using it to just have fun. Yes, having fun is good, but then you need to also ensure that they are not just only having fun, they're having fun and also learning at the side, and that is what the bootcamp that the niche is bringing can do for them. So as a parent, ensure that you're also a part of this bootcamp. Thank you.
The niche and MODIGI.
Oh, the niche and yes, the niche and MODIGI. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so I can say we're lucky that we have MODIGI
Thank you.
on board, and there is a lot that we're going to learn. Back to the parents and teachers and school owners, feel free to join us and let's help our children learn. Parents, even when you're on a trip, driving your children to the village, when you're taking them for an outing, let the child log in when the time comes. They will learn along. Even if it's at a party, they can go to somewhere it's a little bit silent, and they log in, learn, and then join you later. One thing I can say is try to help them understand that there are good sides and challenging sides. Those sides are actually not bad, but they are good for the right people. So they don't have to go to where they're not supposed to be. In the technology area, there is quite a lot out there. It's us to utilize them. Let's not just use them. Let's utilize them properly. But for the future, you just have to be digitally literate to fit in the system. And this is where we start.
So for me, what I can say, first of all, the parents, you should allow your children to be able to get that curiosity. So these are the programs that help them to get curious and know a lot more. And as an example, like when we're talking about like Japan and other countries like China, this is then like they're trying to get the children, the students to learn. This is something they learn like in schools, but if we don't get that opportunity in schools that we are in, but this is a better option to be in. So that's what I can say. And also parents should like help them, their children, so that they can get this opportunity. And also children who are in this camp, please tell others that you're getting this opportunity. Thank you so much.
It's a free tech bootcamp for 4 weeks. And we want to shout out to Digital Transformation Center at Career Center building here in Kachiru for this room that they have given to us to conduct the training and also the show. Good partnership for starters with GIZ, and more partners are welcome. Even if it's just for something small, it helps on this journey of giving a free tech bootcamp. And also want to reach out to the niche, either to subscribe to the free tech bootcamp or any other query to showcase your innovation as a tech startup, as an innovator. Contact us at theniche2025@gmail.com. We also have other social media handlers, but you can use the Gmail option. Thank you very much. Have a good week ahead of you.
devices on the screen. I believe you all can see. Okay. Which of these is not a computer? We have a laptop. So everybody, you're going to go to the chat and then type it. Okay. We have a laptop. Is a laptop not a computer? It is a computer. B, smartwatch. Okay, smartwatches. C, tablet or iPad. D, desktop. E, smartphone. All right. So which of these is not a computer? Not, which means it is not a computer. All right. Which of these is not a computer? Can you type it on the chat so I will just read your comment one after the other? My camera and Daniel's is not working. All right, it's okay. Now type on the chat. It's good that Benny's typed on the chat. Everybody type on the chat. Type on the chat. A, B, C, D, E. Which of them is not a computer? It's okay to actually type more than one. You can say A, B, C is not a computer, or D, E, A is not a computer, or A, B, C, D, E is not a computer. I want to see it on the chat. Everybody do that quickly. I'm going to count 10. All right. Once I count 10, that means you've locked in your answers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Answers locked in. Let's start with the first person. Joshua said B is not a computer. That means smartwatch is not a computer according to Joshua. Kenzo said smartwatch and a smartphone is not a computer. Okay. Bernice said none. Oh, wow. So Bernice, what then is a computer? Okay. I thought you had at least said D is a computer. So Bernice said laptop, smartwatch, tablet, iPad, smartphone, desktop is not a computer. Okay. And Onto and Aviela said D is not a computer. A desktop is not a computer. Oh, okay. Telmore said B, smartwatch is not a computer. So a lot of people actually agree that B is not a computer. Everyone typed in an answer.
All of them are computers.
Bernice, okay, Bernice, you're actually saying all, okay, instead of none. All right, okay. Well, ladies, boys and girls, all right, all of them are computers.
Today, we want to learn how to use these computers, how to use these tech devices productively. Okay. All right. So I know that some of us are usually writing in class. Moving on to what we can use these digital devices for. Okay, what can we use these digital devices for? Now, I would have loved this to be like a question and answer, but then I know that we don't have so much time. Miss Julia, am I to end at exactly 4:30? I just want to be sure.
I think it's better to, if you could do like few more sessions so that the kids can take away more for today. So that for you a few more minutes.
Okay, well, today is just today's conversation is, just to portray on what Mr. Freddie talked about yesterday. So not like everything I'm saying is going to be entirely new. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, not like everything I'm saying here is entirely new. Great, thank you. Not like it's entirely new, but it's just to to throw more light. So what I'm talking about basically just to shed more light on what Mr. Freddie did yesterday. So just like we are having fun. We're having fun. All right. So what can you use your digital devices for? There are so many things. So many things that you can use your digital device for. All right, you can use your digital device for. That's why your digital device is there to help you say, okay, I'm being taught about family in my school. or maybe in my class, but I don't really understand what family is. You already have a digital device. You can install it in your smartphone, you can install it in your tablet, and you can ask Photomat questions that concern how many exams do I need to write, blah 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 blah. And then you begin to know and do and see how to become that thing that you said you want to be in the future. Now, your digital device is helping you to become that thing. Am I making sense? If I'm making sense, can you give me like reaction, like, oh, Miss Betty, you're making sense. Yo, Miss Betty, I hear you. You're correct. Thank you. I see some people. Great. Okay, great. All right. You can even use your digital device to play games. I'm sure so many of us want to have fun, right? You can use your digital device to play games, to improve your mind, to even meet people. You can use your digital devices for all of these things. All right, this conversation. Okay, so as we wrap up today, I want us to also understand that when we eventually start to abuse our device, we also have repercussions. There are things that would also happen to you.
One of the prides of every parent is seeing their children excel, especially when they're excelling more than your neighbor's child. Now, I have a book right here, two of them actually, that I would like to show you. So this is The Elemental Boys, and this is Toby and the Tiger's Adventure. These two books was written by one of the participants of our program, Tech Online Academy to be precise. They were taught ebook creation, and it was actually meant to be an ebook, but this parent took it, a step further by publishing these books for the child. Now imagine how this parent would actually feel placing the book at the shelf so that whenever someone visits them, or even the child getting to sell them, he's actually selling them and making some few amounts of money for the parents already. Now this is the type of pride that we give parents, giving your children an opportunity to express their creativity using technology. So instead of having to worry about the amount of time your children are consuming content, right? Your children are spending on screens. What if we help you turn that same energy into something actually creative and productive? This is why I would encourage you as a parent to enroll your child or children on Tech Online Academy. It's an awesome 4 whopping months weekend online tech academy that provides a platform where children are going to be equipped with skills that will enable them excel with their technology. We have different skills from animation to coding to ebook creation to video making and a lot of tech skills, right? So if you're watching this video and you're a parent, this is a sign that you should get your children started on a successful tech journey, and it begins with early education. Enroll your children right now and you could get a discount when you sign up for the entire 4 months, or give it a try for the first month for just 25,000, and you could now test if your child or if the program is actually going to be beneficial to your child, and you can just decide not to subscribe them again. But trust me, your children are going to have so much fun in the first month that you wouldn't mind completing the entire 4 months registration. Reach out to the WhatsApp contact now displayed, or click the link attached to this video for more inquiry or to enroll your child immediately on Tech Online Academy.